We're going to now jump into the Bevo Francis Award, and I want to tell you a little bit about the Bevo Francis Award and then bring up Athletic Director Jeff Lanham to talk about Bevo Francis himself. The Bevo Francis Award is presented annually to the players at the finest overall season within small college basketball. The considerations for this award are season statistics, individual achievements, awards, personal character, and team achievements. I do want to emphasize, as we've talked about this over the years, that team success is a big part of this, as well as it was something that was very important to Bevo himself. This is obviously a very prestigious award, as ultimately this is only given to one player out of roughly 13,000 to 16,000 players that play annually under the umbrella of small college basketball. The purpose of the Bevo Francis Award is twofold. Number one, to keep the story and the legacy of the great Bevo Francis alive and to continue to tell his story to the next generation. It's one of the great stories in the history of college basketball, and again, Jeff Lanham will talk to us a little bit about Bevo Francis and this wonderful story. But in addition to what you hear tonight, I encourage you to go online, go to YouTube, go to Google, and go to YouTube and look up the Bevo Francis story. It is absolutely remarkable, truly one of the great stories in the history of college basketball at any level. In addition, the second purpose is to recognize, honor, and bring great national attention to the great players within college basketball of today's game at the small college levels, and ultimately to honor one player on an annual basis. So since the beginning of this award in 2016, the University of Rio Grande has sponsored this award, and I've been tremendously grateful to Jeff Lanham, who has been the driving force behind this award. And I'd also like to thank Rio Grande President Ryan Smith, who's been fully supportive of this since his tenure as the president of the University of Rio Grande. To tell the Bevo Francis story, I'd like to bring up my longtime friend and the athletic director at the University of Rio Grande, Mr. Jeff Lanham.
Thank you, John, so much. And I too want to first say, isn't this great? This is a fantastic evening here, honoring everyone. It's just fantastic. And John is that person who has done this. I just appreciate his enthusiasm, his passion that he has about small college basketball and these awards that are out there. He is the right person to be able to do this. Also want to thank the committee with the Bevo Francis Award, made up of coaches all across the country that spend endless hours looking at tape and watching people play to come with that, start with that 100 nominees and then down to that one person. And we go into a lot of depth with this, and I was talking to Elijah about that earlier, about how important that is, and character is such a big part of that. So again, congratulations today to Elijah as well. I just wanted to give you a little, maybe a little background about Bevo and Rio Grande and how things have moved around. So it was 1952-53 when Bevo Francis and Coach Newt Oliver came to a small village in southeastern Ohio that at that time we had 92 students. That was all we had. We were ready to shut our doors, ready to close down. And Coach Oliver actually said, let's hold off for a year. Let's see what's happening. Because he said, hey, I've got some plans for what's happening here. So he proceeds at that time, that 52-53 school year, with Bevo to go 39-0, goes undefeated. That could probably be considered one of the greatest years for college basketball. And just some notes of what Bevo did in that first year. He had 1,554 points in a year's time, averaged right at 50 points a game. So with that happening, I guess the popularity of Bevo was worldwide. And if we also know some history with this, in the early 50s there was a gambling scandal that happened in college basketball. And during that time, really, the college basketball had a really black eye during that. The fans did not go to the games. There was just not much interest, kind of a very sour taste with what was going on. When Bevo came on, everybody then just got excited about college basketball. The idea of every day they would go to the newspaper and see how many did he score last night, and it just became a phenomenon of college basketball. And we hope that it continues to where it is today. And we want to say that we hope that he had a part of that. So we move on to the 53-54 season. With that popularity, we had a very, very small gym. Probably we couldn't seat 75 people in the gym at that time. And Coach Oliver decided we're playing all of our games on the road. We had no home games during that season. We ended up 21-7, played in places like Madison Square Garden, Boston Gardens. We played and beat teams. Powerhouse at that time was Wake Forest. We beat Princeton, Arizona State, Miami of Florida, Creighton, and many other Division I programs at that time. So with all of that, the popularity was crazy. I was talking just yesterday about the Municipal Auditorium when Rio Grande played there. I think the stadium holds 10,000. I think there were 17,000 people there to see them play in that 54 year. So they were just filling up stadiums. Well, Coach Oliver was involved in charge of guarantee money, percentage of the gates. With that money, he took back to Rio Grande, and that probably kept us afloat until he could go. And so I would even give them credit to a point where we're at now with 1,300 students and flourishing as a university and as an athletic department as well. So we have to give them credit to do that. So just some other facts about what Bevo did the second year. So playing a little higher caliber teams. He only averaged 47 the second year he was there. Only scored 1,319 points in that year after being double teamed and triple teamed all throughout the year. So think about it like this. For 2 years, that's all the time he was at Rio, was for 2 years, he scored 3,273 points in 2 years, averaged just over 48 points a game as an individual. Now this was a guy who was 6'9", didn't play inside. He shot jumpers from the deep corner, jumpers from the top of the key. Of course, there was no three-point line at that time, and there was no one-on-one. So I was just telling earlier, people fouled him when he came across half court, so he'd only give up 1 point instead of 2. The game where he scored 113, he shot 45 free throws and made 37 of those free throws. So it's just phenomenal to think about that. The other little fact about that, with I get my numbers right, with 10 minutes to play, Coach Oliver calls timeout in a small little gym in Jackson, Ohio. The gym is still there. Bevo had 74 points, right? With 10 minutes to play. Well, he proceeds in those 10 minutes to score 39 points in 10 minutes to get the record for, if my math is correct, 113. That was a record for 58 years. It was involved. Bevo always said it won't last because of the three-point line, and that is what ended up getting him to break that record. So with that being said, I think we can, we kind of went to the point of saying the Bevo Francis Award is considered to be the best player in small college basketball for that year. And we kind of look back at the idea that Bevo had that he was that person, and that for those years that he was at Rio Grande was considered to be one of the best. So, the Bevo Francis Award is such a phenomenal thing. We're so proud of that. We hold a tournament, Bevo Francis basketball tournament. This has been 42 straight years that we've held this tournament. And the first 32 years, Bevo came and talked every year before he passed away. And he never ever talked about his accomplishments, he always talked about his teammates. He said, I could have never done anything out on the floor without my teammates. And I just saying that to our KC, to our Elijah too, just remember that. Go thank your teammates, because that's so important. And they're teammates for all of us. You know, we have teammates in everything that we do, and they help us. And so if nothing else, take that away tonight to help. Go thank teammates on Monday with you. So with that, I'm going to say congratulations again to Elijah, and good luck to him in the future. And I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our stage the coach of tonight's award winner, the head coach at Grace University, Coach Scott Moore.
Well, thank you, John. This is what an awesome honor. I could spend all day and talk about Elijah, and you're going to see a video, I'm sure, of. You go on social media in 5 minutes, you can see what type of a player he was. But instead, I'm going to tell a story and how I ended up getting to coach him. I played for a man named Jim Kessler. Some of you may know. Coach K was at Grace for 44 years. And when I took over for him, I'll never forget what he told me. He said, some of your best recruits are going to be the guys that you get either really early or really late. And sometimes it's a God thing. And then I remember him he called me back later and he said, hey, when I said sometimes it's a God thing, I mean all the time it's a God thing. I was recruiting a post player 4 years ago, and we went through the season, his senior year, spending a lot of time with him, to the point where I came back to my staff and said, hey guys, we got this kid. It's a done deal. And I get a phone call from this kid, and he decided to not go to Grace, but go to a rival school in our conference. And at that time, I went to my assistant and said, fellas, we got to figure something out. We got to find another big kid. I get a phone call from another gentleman and said, hey, there's a kid you may want to check out, a big kid, 6'10", from Prairie Heights, Indiana. And there's only a couple of you who know Prairie Heights, Indiana. And I said, that's Amish town. That's horse and buggy town. There's a 6'10" kid in Amish town. So I grab my assistant and we go up the way, and I walk into this gym, and basketball in Indiana, Coach Miller kind of talked about it. It's packed. There's not a seat in the house, and I had to stand underneath the basket against the wall 3 feet from the out of bounds. And here comes this kid walking out, and I'm like, who is this kid? He's a senior. We spent 10 minutes talking after the game, and I remember that right after that, look, this kid needs to be at Grace. He's everything that we could ever hope for. We had a big kid at the time who was a senior. I said, this is going to be perfect. Let the freshman come in, learn his way. Hopefully by Christmas time, he can figure it out and start to take some time. Elijah gets to campus, and in about 2.5 weeks, we decided that senior's got no chance of playing. This kid's going to come in and take all of his minutes, and that's exactly what happened. Again, I can talk about the player, but you see a picture up there. Coach Brooks talked about it. It's always about the kids, and it's always about the players. And one of my favorite things about this young man, he was exceptional from day one. And Coach talked about it. In today's landscape, kids move all the time. He could have left every year of college to go somewhere else, higher level. And he stayed, and he stayed, and he stayed. And what had come about it was this. This is a picture of an elementary game that we had. And I've never had a kid who embodied what being a superstar is all about. He would spend time, endless amount of time with children, making sure that they knew he had time for them. I walked through the grocery store 2 weeks ago, and I'm going down the aisle, and I see a white t-shirt with a number 50 on the back that said Malone, a 12-year-old kid. I stopped him and said, "Hey, let me take a picture with you." You don't understand the impact, and that's what I told him. The impact you have on the college will go a long way. We won a lot of games because of you, but the lives that you've changed, including mine, will last for a long, long time. He has an opportunity now to use his fifth year, and he's going to announce that on Monday. He gets to go play at a Power 5 school. I will say this: I have a twin brother, and he reminds me here every day that, hey, are we sure that you're actually good at your job? You have a Power 5 kid, and you didn't win the national championship. I said, way to stay humble, I guess. But I'm so proud to be his coach. I could do this for a long time, and I'm pretty sure I'm never going to have a guy like Elijah Malone, and not just a basketball player, but a human being. It's an honor. John, when you called me to tell me that he won the award, I was sitting in my truck and just moved to tears. And like these coaches know, these kids, these young men become your kids. And I will forever be grateful for him and his family for the rest of my life. Thank you.
That was awesome. So while the video we're going to play about Elijah in just a moment, we'll tell you about his statistics, his awards from this past season. I want to emphasize the team success and personal character of this award. They're really big components. We take that very seriously. We tend to learn a whole lot about the finalists for our awards before they even become a finalist. We have committee members do a great amount of research. I've learned a lot about players over the course of the years that I know a lot about people. And I will tell you that we've watched you, Elijah, besides what you've done on the court, we've learned a lot about you as well. But a couple things I want to bring up for the folks here and the folks that will be watching this later is from a team success standpoint, Grace started the season with the longest win streak at any level of college basketball this year, winning their first 24 consecutive games for the season. That was more consecutive wins than anybody in Division I, II, III, NAI in the country. They ended up going on to win the Crossroads League regular season, Crossroads League tournament, winning their NAI regional, making it all the way to the Fab Four, and finishing the season with a 34-2 overall records. Elijah was, of course, the Crossroads League Player of the Year, became the NAI National Player of the Year, and the NCCA Division I National Player of the Year. But in addition to that, the reason you're here tonight is the combination of what you did on the court as a team success, individual success. But I can tell you that I personally watched you on the bench, waving towels. I think you were more excited for your teammates' success than your own success. I watched when the guys came off the court with you giving high five and hugging your teammates. I watched when teammates hit threes and had dunks with you jumping up off the bench to congratulate them. And I just want to remind everybody that this award is really special. It's really special because not only is it we're talking about a great player, we're talking about a great person with great human character that comes from a team with great success. So I'd appreciate it if you would turn your attention to the video screen as we announce, as we've already announced before, but now in person, the winner of the 2024 Bevo Francis Award. Congratulations to Elijah Malone. On behalf of the University of Rio Grande, Small College Basketball is proud to announce the winner of the 2024 Bevo Francis Award, Elijah Malone from Grace College in Indiana. Elijah Malone led Grace to a remarkable 34-2 season, winning the regular season and tournament titles in the Crossroads League. In the NAI tournament, the Lancers won the regional tournament and reached the NAI national semifinals. For the season, Malone averaged 17.3 points, 8.3 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks per game, while shooting a remarkable 63% from the field. Malone was named the Crossroads League Player of the Year, while being named to the NAIA tournament team and then being named the NCCAA Division I National Player of the Year and the NAIA National Player of the Year. Congratulations to Elijah Malone, the 2024 Bevo Francis Award winner.
And now let's welcome to our stage the winner of the 2024 Bevo Francis Award, Elijah Malone.
Try it again? All right, let's try that. Thank you. Want me to stand on the box?
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. 4 years ago, I made a decision. At the time, I thought it was just a decision on where I was going to play basketball. What I didn't realize is it was a decision that would change and impact my life forever. At Grace, basketball became a platform. Winning games was fun, but impacting others while doing so was much greater. I was fortunate to play in nearly 140 games in my college career, but the truth is, I can't tell you much that I remember about any of them. What I do remember is the locker room. I remember the trips that we took, whether it was to Oregon, Orlando, Phoenix, or France. I remember the packed games to watch us play. I remember the summer basketball camps and all the hours of work we put in to get better. I remember the highs and the lows, the laughter and the tears. This game has taken me to a place I never knew I could go. Next year I have an opportunity to use my COVID year to play at another school and continue on to reach my dreams of playing professionally. First of all, I'd like to thank God for all the amazing opportunities He's put into my life. I'd like to thank my mom and my family for the unconditional love and support. Thank you to my coaches and my teammates at Grace for providing me with such an amazing environment to grow not only as a player, but as a man. Thank you to the students at Grace for providing such an amazing community. Thank you to the fans at Grace for being the best in the country and for making the games at Grace such a special experience. Thank you so much to John McCarthy and the Small College Basketball Committee for the great honor of being the 2024 Bevo Francis Award winner. This is a great honor. This is a great honor that me and the Grace Lancers basketball team will remember forever. Thank you and God bless.